Currently, the primary target of coal seam gas production in Australia is located in the Surat and Bowen Basin. There are many questions that are being raised in relation to the environmental impacts of coal seam gas production. The key questions in relation to biodiversity: what are the main effects that coal seam gas production will have on local and regional flora and fauna? And what management actions are most effective to reduce the identified threat? And finally, how do we prioritise these actions across space to achieve the best benefits to biodiversity in the most cost-effective manner? To help to answer these questions, the research projects being undertaken in the biodiversity portfolio will document the potential threats to biodiversity and look at the most cost-effective actions to mitigate these threats across the coal seam gas affected region. So as well as making a plan of action for conserving terrestrial biodiversity, this work will also establish where risk exists to guide the future direction of biodiversity research and remedial action throughout the life of the coal seam gas development. There are currently 3 projects that focus on biodiversity. The first is the Priority Threat Identification, Management and Appraisal. This project assesses the key emerging threats to biodiversity in the region and will prioritise the most cost-effective actions to abate these threats to biodiversity. So the second looks at fire ecology in grassy woodlands. This project looks at determining the sensitivity of regional flora and fauna to changed fire regimes, and it looks at the thresholds at which changed fire regimes can cause substantial ecological impact in the coal seam gas development area. The third project is on threatened species ecology. This project will focus on the impacts and management responses for 2 high-profile threatened species in the region, the glossy black cockatoo and the golden-tailed gecko. The golden-tailed gecko requires fine-scale management, and the glossy black cockatoo relies on more landscape-scale conservation. These research projects will bring together scientists and students from CSIRO and universities across Queensland, as well as specialist practitioners from within the development region. These initial projects will advance our scientific understanding of threats and key management actions to abate these threats in the coal seam gas affected region. And finally, it will provide case studies on impact mitigation for 2 high-profile threatened species, the glossy black cockatoo and the golden-tailed gecko.